Hello, everybody. This is Arlene Arnold and Leslie Romine, and we are part of Transformational Tools, which is a company that I started many years ago. And Leslie's been with me now. I don't know, Leslie, how long has it been? A long
A
time.
really long time.
And we've had so much fun together, had some really great travels together, and um, over the years, just really enjoyed the friendship and the work that we do at Transformational Tools and the people that we have on board with us. It's just such a gratitude for me. Oh, I see Sue's here. Hi, Will.
Oh,
Um, yeah, Sue, it's really nice to see you here again. Yeah, it's fun to me to do this kind of thing. It almost feels like old home week or something.
mhm.
And we get a chance to really look at the energies that are coming up and the kinds of things that we want to pay attention to. And if you are like me, we are going through a time when there's lots of changes going on, and I am feeling it in my back. So I'm using color therapy. I'm going to Stacy's Qigong. I'm uh, doing all kinds of things to be able to take care of my back. And I also know that it is part of what's happening as we are starting to move into a new phase where we are getting clearer and clearer about some new things that we are here to be doing. So I'm really focusing on taking care of myself, and I hope that you will do that too. And some of what we're bringing to you today, I think, will be helpful because we need to have this sense of being able to have tools and friends and ways to work with. Why don't you say something about that too, Leslie? What are you experiencing in this energy?
Oh, I definitely can confirm that having people to move through it with and connect with and share what's going on really is a support that is really helpful and needed and really uplifting in this time. And
Yeah.
yeah, I and today, like you said, we'll talk about it a little more. But um, that's yeah, I don't know how much more I have to say about that right
Yeah,
now.
well, that's let's just get started. So,
Yeah.
um, the luminary that I picked for today is love. And I hope that those of you who have the luminaries that you'll get that out and put it in front of you. Oh, good. Stacy's here too. She's going to be help us in the background. Stacy, if you can find love and put it up for us, that would be great. Um, and so, love is one that my husband Peter and I had at our wedding because it talks about attributes that are a part of love, but not just uh, couples love, but this is love of friends. This is love of self. There's so much to this, and so I picked out one of the attributes that we could talk about, and it's co-creating, and I think it's one of the most important uh, things that we can focus on because it's all about manifesting the world that we want, the life that we want, the how we do our work. All of that is about co-creating, and the way that I look at it, and then I'm going to have you talk about this too, Leslie, is that we have manifesting abilities that come from being offspring of the divine source. I feel like, and not everybody agrees with that, and that's okay. However you see it is fine. But for me, it's like there is one source of all that creation, and that source has all of the attributes of love. It is love. And because we were birthed from that energy, that's who we are too. And in addition, we have choice. We can choose love or we can choose fear. And when we choose fear, we tend to have attributes that are not who we really are. And we at Transformational Tools, one of our biggest things is to find how we can be our own true selves and how we can make it an atmosphere in which other people find their true selves. So, Leslie, what would you like to say about co-creating?
That when you are working with another person or a group of people to create a safe place, a place that allows you to express yourself and to do the work of finding yourself. It's this kind of, it's something that keeps evolving in your life. And so as you are supported to find that best self of yours, it really helps to have input, insight, and support from other people. It lets you know where you're at, and it lets them assist you. It also lets you assist the other person. So it's like a two-way street for me. It's like we're co-creating together, and that means sometimes I might be of support, and other times someone will be of support to me in whatever I'm working through in my life.
It also reminds me of something that I've said off and on over the years, how we're kind of like a flock of birds where there's always one that's at the front end of the V and taking on all of the air that's coming, or it's got holding the position. Mm-hmm. And then others are there in the V. Then another time, a different bird's going to be the one that's the front end. And that's kind of how I see co-creating, because sometimes one person will be at the front end of the creation process and the others will be there to support and do their part. And then for another thing, it'll be somebody else. And that really is how we get an opportunity to try out what we're good at, because part of what we're here to do is to do what we love, what we're good at, what we are here to offer. And that is such an important piece, because how many times have we done something because somebody said, well, you should, or somebody says, well, I can remember, people saying, well, you'll never make money at that. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of like we have to be aware of what's happening out there, but we have to go in here and then make the choice. And that's part of the co-creating, make the choice of how we want to use our abilities and co-create with others to do that. So love illuminates the co-creation process. We combine our abilities to manifest in different ways. As we do that, we honor our ability and others' abilities. And that part is so important because we all have different pieces that we do really well. And it's one of the reasons that it's fun to be on here with Leslie and with Stacy. And Stacy's going to be a part of our doing readings and things again one of these days. Because, one of the things that I know is, for me, I love doing things together. And I don't have a problem standing up and giving a presentation, or like we did in the Vortal, which we'll talk to you about. But when we have a topic and a whole group of people can give their part of it, we learn so much. It's part of that co-creating process. So how do you think, Leslie, that love illuminates the co-creative process?
Illuminates. That's a good word. Well, I think that it brings clarity when you can allow your perspective to take in other people's expressions and to shift roles. I think that's really important too. Like you were saying, the sometimes you're leading, sometimes you're following, but in shifting those roles, you really get to see what are my strengths, what do I love doing, and you also get to know that, oh, I could refer somebody to that person because that would be such a great fit, for them to talk to that person.
Yeah.
To me, it's a very creative process that allows us to uh, um, go beyond where we would be able to go by ourselves. And
Boy, isn't that the truth?
and really, I put it in the category of relationships because it's relationship to what? To another person, to the world at large, to nature, whatever we're co-creating with. And so that creative process gets stimulated by being with another or being involved in that process with another.
Yeah, I think, I'm just thinking of the question inside of me. So, what would it be like if we saw every relationship as co-creating?
Mm-hmm.
Even with people that think differently than you do, with people that may have ways of being that seem difficult, and just asking the internal question is, if we were to co-create this, what could we do with that? It might be interesting to just see how that changes the way we interact with people when we see it from that point of view.
Yeah, it feels like that's a lot of what's up, lately, too, for people trying to figure out how to do just that
Yeah.
and mm, uh, how to speak in a way and be open to finding solutions together.
Exactly. I was thinking, and I put this down here, but I'm thinking about it again. The word empowered.
Mm.
When we're empowered, it's because we have a pretty good idea of who we are and have what we have to bring. But it's also really helpful when you have around you people that support you in being who you are.
Mm.
There's an empowerment for the individual that feels supported, and there's empowerment for the people that are supporting. So again, it's sort of a co-creative kind of thing that's going on.
Yeah.
So besides the children that our people here may have co-created, what else was a co-creative process in your life, and how did that allow more love to flow? So I would ask the people that are here to think about that. What do you point to as a co-creative process in your life, and how did that allow more love to flow? So, Leslie, did you think of a time for you that was like that? Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us about
Yeah, it was early on in my life, and I worked for a school district, and I was on a committee, and I got voted to be the implementer for that committee, which meant that I would be in an administrative role. And I meant that I would teach half day and then do the administrative role the other half day. And it was for art. And I was excited. I really got excited because I knew I would be in a position where I was heading up the committee, but it was to be sure that everybody else in the district got what they needed to be able to do a great job at teaching that subject. And so the service aspect of it was there for me. I felt that was great. And the fact that I got to do the work was really at that time really right up my alley too, because I love doing a lot of research. And so I was able to do that and visit different schools and things like that. But I think the essence of it was that I loved being able to provide a service for the people that were wanting something new and something different. And that I could look at resources and gather things and figure it out. Those two aspects, were pretty fun at that time in my life.
And getting to know yourself. There's a lot of that going on in a situation like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And pushing yourself a little.
Oh, definitely.
To see what else was there.
Yeah, felt like two jobs, but it was fun.
I was thinking about when I wrote the book, the color cards book, and because there were two different, we had the original one, and then I did a new one that added 2 more colors. And I was, let's see, I think I was still in the training to be a spiritual guide and healing facilitator. And one of the women there was a really good friend. And so I asked her if I'd come over and talk about colors. So we just sat down and started talking about what we knew about colors. And I'd already done this whole collating thing about everything everybody had ever said about chakras and colors and all that kind of thing. But just sitting there with her and brainstorming was so helpful to me. I wrote down a lot of things that we said, and what really resonated for me then ended up in the book. And that, so, it was, I do better when I can do that with the things that I'm working on, and to talk to somebody about it, or that kind of thing. So that was a real co-creative process there.
Yeah.
So, we're coming into a time which is manifesting a great shift on the earth. Now, I know there are a lot of people that don't get this, especially my husband. Yeah, but I know inside of me, I just don't know the timing, but I think the timing depends a lot on us. And it's more about really focusing on what is it that we really want, and how can we live like that so we can bring it about. How can we put out the energy for that and support people in the things that they're doing that will bring that shift around? And when you look at the outer world, it looks like, well, how would this ever happen?
Yeah.
But, that's what co-creating is about. We have the ability to manifest, and we can, we have all the help that's out there. It's just a matter of whether we really believe that and call on that help. But we have the ability to change this world. And there are so many people across this globe that are in this process and have been working on this for some time, just like we have. And so I just keep thinking about this great shift that we are in the middle of, which I think is also partly why the body is kind of going, this isn't how it used to be. And coming up with some things that are coming to the surface that we need to deal with. And I'm just thinking about this in terms of what you feel about this shift. Leslie, do you, and maybe you don't think about it, but I do.
Well, I do. I think I have developed for myself a realization that it is happening. I do see different periods of evolvement over time of not only myself, but people I know. And sometimes things move pretty fast and sometimes things move pretty slowly. It seems like we are affected by global happenings these days because we can hear and see it. We have the ability now to see everything on the world, in the world. And so I, I feel like it's a time that is um, not pushing us, but encouraging us to take more steps to evolve more um, intentionally during this time.
Yeah.
Because before, I look at my parents' generation or my grandparents, they evolved to a certain extent. And however long that was and whatever they lived through. Here we're living through a time where we're evolving, and it's like boosting us up, saying, okay, okay, come on. You can do it. You can move through this. Other people have moved through their times. You can move through this. And that, yeah, we are all moving into a place where there's um, more understanding of ourselves, more understanding of each other, if we allow that to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Which is a really good practice. When we can try some things out and feel into something, and when you can do it with other people that are somewhat of like mind, it's not everybody's the same, but you're kind of moving in the same direction. It's pretty interesting to share that.
mhm.
Well, let's move on to the color card. And what we have is the strength in lime green. And maybe Stacy has a picture of lime green she'll put up for us. This is really, you're going to see this a lot in springtime. It's not spring green, but lime green has a little bit, I find a little more yellow in it than spring green. But when I ran into this color, and it eventually became part of our second, oh, there we go.
Ooh,
How
I
about
love
limes?
mine. Yeah, that's great.
The the when I ran into this color, and it became part of our second level of colors. For those of you who are not totally aware of what we do, we have 6 basic colors that we use in complementary pairs to help heal the body and keep the body healthy. And then we have a second group of colors that actually are part of raising our understanding of the vibrations that we're dealing with now. And also, as they work together, they can kind of clear the way for us. So when we see this one that is lime green, in the middle of it is magenta. And magenta is a color that's full of compassion and love and support and all that kind of thing. So when I look at lime green, I always see it with magenta because magenta is such an important part of it. And when I first got this color, what I was being told is this is about a new kind of leadership. And boy, are we seeing some contrasts in the world right now about leadership. And what I'm feeling is that it's important to look at it neutrally, because we can learn things from both sides of this. But when you think of the kind of leadership you would like to have, think of the colors that are part of lime green. You have white, which always for me is all the colors of light, and it takes us up to a high frequency. And then we have the color green, which is the heart. And when we open the heart in the front and the back, we can receive love from the back of the heart, and we give out our love from the front of the heart, or we give out our love through the whole thing of the green area, which is the heart and the arms and hands and the down to the bottom of the rib cage. So it's the lungs. What an important part of the body that is. And then the other color that's in there is yellow, and yellow is the solar plexus. And you can just find that from the bottom of the lungs. Oh, here's another one. Good, thank you. From the bottom of the lungs to the waist is the solar plexus, and it's all the way around and through the body. And that's the place where we get very clear about who we are when we are our best selves. Because most of us spend time in our life saying, oh, I'm not good enough, or, boy, I made so many mistakes, and all of that kind of thing. And hopefully we come to a time where we just are very loving toward who we are. And so when you think of lime green, Leslie, what kind of things do you think of?
Well, I think of them with the idea that the heart and the way you put yourself out in the world, the yellow part, and the way you think logically with your mind, that when you're in lime green, you're bringing that heart energy into that aspect of yourself, and you're kind of reminding yourself, like, okay, this is my intention to have the highest loving form of how I am in this world and how I am perceived. Mostly how I am, because if you're being who you truly are, perceiving is on them, not on us. And so yeah, and I think of it also as including the magenta that goes
Stacey's
with.
having a good time.
She is. These are wonderful.
They are.
And 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 leadership is when you can be in that flock of birds where we were talking. Sometimes you're the leader and you step up and you do what you need to do, and then with the knowledge of that it's fitting in that moment with those others that you're co-creating with. I mean, this whole thing of co-creating is a theme here, obviously, and this is a way to co-create where your attributes get to contribute to the whole.
And that's really what the lime green leadership does, because lime green is about becoming leaders, all of us in our own areas that we're having expertise, or that we've been asked to be in charge of something. It's really interesting to see what happens when the leadership becomes where everybody's involved and everybody has the opportunity to say what they feel, and they can say, I would like to take on that part because I think that is something that I want to express, but maybe also I want to grow in it. Mm-hmm. And it's a good way to have that opportunity to grow yourself.
I also like the when it's with its complementary color.
Yeah.
And bringing in that magenta.
Yes.
Because to me, that's about compassion. And it is about compassion when you're putting yourself out there in a co-creative way with others.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really almost, if we're talking about a new kind of leadership, compassion has to be part of it. Yeah. And compassion for yourself as well as others. So those two colors are really, really important. Another in the book, I was just looking at the different kind of things that are under lime green. Another one is cooperative clarity. And I think we talked a little bit about that already, how there's so much more clarity when we have different voices that are part of that. And then there's another one called front runner. And then we've talked about that with the geese, that somebody is willing to be the front runner, and then others can be the ones that are there supporting the front runner. And so when we have any kind of leftover fears, that is going to affect our leadership. And what kind of fears do you see, Leslie, in some leaders that make it more difficult to feel like this person is one that you want to be in a follow-up mode, or a just do you want to be co-creative with that person?
I guess certain things about openness to others, receptivity, and their ideas. Um, and on the other hand, it's my idea and only my idea will work. That doesn't make me want to. I mean, because it's already blocked, for me to work with a person. But yeah, I think of those two first. When I think.
And sometimes the fears in us have us hang on to things, which then has to go inside and say, okay, am I hanging on to this for myself? Or is this something that's really important that needs to be here for? And do I need to spend more time talking about it, or whatever, at least giving a full picture of it, because it feels important to me? So I think it's asking yourself those questions is part of leadership too.
Oh yeah, the whole thing of healing, for ourselves, for others, for this world, depends, for me, it depends on willingness to take a look at when fear or when other things might come up that are obstacles to you feeling fully yourself, and
Yes.
feeling fully alive and fully appreciative. Those things, when something's in the way, that's where we can help each other, and that's where transformational tools and other modalities that are for that can help us move forward and to become more who we really want to be.
True. And then the last one on this was fairness. That doesn't mean that there aren't other things, but those are the ones that stood out for us for this weekend and next week. So what does fairness look like in a true lime green leadership? So did something come up about that for you that you want to share, Leslie?
No, not really. I had only been thinking about the ones we talked about so far.
Fairness to me is what all of what we've been talking about is really fairness. It's about supporting other people's abilities and supporting other people's ideas, as well as giving our own, and allowing people to have a time to lead. If it's appropriate, and if they want to, if they're ready to do that there is a place for them to do that. So it's not just about one person.
Yeah.
And when I started this business, it was basically about me. I was it. And as you and I were working with the color therapy and doing some of the training for that, and it was really interesting how it like takes the pressure off. It gives you an opportunity to be relaxed and be present, and really offering opportunities for other people, and getting comfortable in doing that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I know we'll have opportunities to do that training again. And it's just what I do now is I go, okay, is this the right timing? And I try to feel into it. Mm-hmm. Well, right now there's so much going on. I think people have a hard time focusing in on something that takes a while, where they're going to be there for a while. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well,
I'm excited to get to the readings.
Yes, and it's so much fun to do this with you. I think of when we were on Blog Talk Radio and we were doing that. Oh, look at this. There's the magenta.
Magenta.
I love it.
Great
Yes.
picture. Thank you, Stacy.
Yes. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead with the readings. And I see some here. I'm going to say your names. And then if I've missed somebody, let me know. But I see Will and Sue and Courtney and Dodie and Mia and oh, here's Will says, for me, a lime green leader is wise, understanding, and yet fresh and selfless. Oh my gosh, Will, we couldn't said any better than that.
Yeah, you should be up here.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let me get my cards out here. Why don't you pick a luminary for Will?
Okay. Ooh, Neo Matrix.
He'll love that.
Yeah. Maybe Stacy has one of these too. Better one. Neo Matrix.
What do you get about that for Will specifically? What is it you're feeling about where he's at?
Well, it talks about being midwives to the transforming earth and inhabitants, and restructuring our internal like cellular changes, and new forms of energy. That's what I get for him, is this new forms of energy are arising up and moving through his abilities to bring it forth. That's what I'm seeing, and it feels like very fresh, like new, like kind of, if you see a brain and all the connections going on, it feels like it's busy.
Yeah.
Even when he's calm, it feels like these things are moving through not only his mind, but his energy.
All the way through the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's true for all of us, which is really,
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't stay grounded, if we don't stay present, then it makes life a lot harder when those kind of energies are moving through us.
Yeah.
So let's see.
The blue is about communicating it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, and the color card that I get for you, Will, is the lesson in indigo. So I think in the mix of that with Neo Matrix is the trusting of the universe, trusting life, trusting yourself, just trusting the knowing that you have, and trusting the psychic abilities that you have too. Because I think more and more our psychic abilities are coming forward, and trusting those when we're pretty new with them is sometimes difficult. But anyway, that's really fun to that. So the next one we have is Sue, and why don't you do a color card and I'll do a luminary for Sue.
Okay.
Wow, these are some interesting ones. So what we have, Stacy, is presence. And presence is so important at this time. And it's really about feeling the support of the universe, feeling the sense that you have guides and different ones that are here for you and can be with you, Sue, and just staying open to that. Don't get so busy that you're not paying attention to the energies around you, because they are there. And my sense is that they have some messages for you. And I would really encourage you to sit with this art and really ask the questions of what is it that I am being offered here. Really stay open for that. So we're really glad to have you back here with us today, Sue. It's so fun. Um, all right, what have you got? What did you get,
I
Leslie?
got the lesson in black.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I I don't know if you can see it very well, but this is about embracing the possibilities. Black is about all the possibilities, and it says to embrace the possibilities and banish fear. So it's just a call to say, is there anything that I am fearful about, holding back on, that sort of thing? Um, and to kind of do a scan, see what's going on there, if there is something there. And if not, um, if not obvious right away, you might just ask, the colors, or ask your source to help you to see that. And that is for the purpose of you being able to be more focused. And maybe that's part of what's going on, is the lack of focus. And so to release that fear and to move that fear out of your energy field, and to allow it to come back and help you be more focused and more ready, ready for what's next, and to feel that possibilities are there for you, and a positive feeling that you're always part of the whole. You're always part of all that is, and that beautiful energy is there for you.
And I'm getting also, Sue, that on the card it suggests that you bring in the black from beneath and the white from above. Or sometimes I think of it as standing on black and feeling a column of white come down around you. This is that balance that we need. That's the black is the feminine energy, and we often think of it as the earth energy. And the white is the masculine energy, and we often think of that as universal kind of energy. And when you have that kind of balance, then that brings you into the strengths that Leslie talked about, the strength of being focused and also full of potential, because then you have all of the possibilities in black and all the possibilities in white, which is very cool. Anything else, Leslie, you want to add to that?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So now I just picked a color card for Courtney. I'm writing. I like to write down what people got and then just see each week what they get. So Courtney, what I got for you is the lesson in blue. Now, blue is the throat, and oftentimes people will say it's about speaking. I find that it's about expressing your truth. And that can be expressing your truth in many ways. You can express your truth in love. You can express your truth by doing what makes your heart sing. But I would really encourage you to sit down and maybe do or come to our Journal with Your Knowing Self, which is coming up on next Tuesday, and come and do some journaling about that and ask, what is this truth that you are to bring forward from deep within you? So, all right. So, Leslie, do you want to see what her is?
Yes. It's celebration.
Oh, wow.
Celebration. Yes. I am drawn to this question: how do I express celebration in the midst of seeming chaos?
That's not the truth.
Yeah, because life can be that way sometimes. And celebrating how far you've come, how much you know, how
Yes.
much your intentions are good, how much you have received from the universe already, how, all those things I think are really important for us to remember, from time to time, really kind of remind yourself, hey, I have a lot to celebrate. I have accomplished these things by being open to what the universe has led me to. So, um, expressing your truth, celebrating. I mean, look at the fact that you can express your truth. There was
So
probably a time, like most of us, where we couldn't express that. We couldn't even talk about it, but now we are able to do that and able to do it with people that we feel safe with and feel loved from. And, what a joy that is. So that's the message.
I think of Courtney, about where you're living now, and you have been gifted with something that is so wonderful as a place to live. So yes, being in that wonderful energy is part of your process, and you manifested that in some way, and you also, I think you appreciate it a lot, and I just feel so good that you have that place to be. All right, so I picked a luminary for Dodie, and what I got was uh, illumination. I think it's a perfect one for you, Doherty.
Yeah.
So, because illumination is all about remembering that we have such beautiful light around us, and each one of these, each one of us has a different light to shine. And Dodie, you have such a beautiful light to shine, and so much to bring through with that light that is you. So, Leslie and I are celebrating your light. So please let it shine even more.
Yes, for sure. Okay, and the color card I got for her, for Dodie, was Lesson in Blue. Speak your truth from deep within. And this is interesting because um, as you are speaking your truth, as you are sharing your light, um, this is just like that encouragement from the blue and the yellow, which are that creative process in our bodies, and you are such a great creator. It's saying that's been stimulated, and don't be afraid of bringing out whatever it is that you want to be expressing. Um, Not that I feel like you're afraid. I feel like you're just having a renaissance of sorts of this coming up for you again in a way that hasn't happened before. It's kind of new. And so it's encouraging you to say, yeah, I'm going to keep speaking my truth. I'm going to put it out the way I feel that is so wonderful for me. And it's just asking you to be at peace with that and to flow with that and enjoy the ride.
That's so wonderful. Thank you, Leslie. All right. Well, I picked a color card for Mia, and Mia, it's the lesson in gold. Now, gold and silver are the highest frequencies in the color card deck, so it means that you are working with some very they're not as heavy. And I know that all of us have had times in our life where the energies were so heavy, but this is us moving in to higher and higher frequencies. So one of the things that I like to do when you're in a lesson is these colors are not specifically complementary, but they work together, and that is gold and silver. So you might want to think about wearing gold and silver together, like in a necklace or a bracelet or something, and to be sitting with the frequency of gold and silver, because the gold is the active masculine, which is going to help you understand how to your action can be in this higher frequency of gold. And the silver is the receptive uh, uh, feminine energy, and the receptive feminine energy, I think, has something for you. So sit, Mia, and listen to what the gold and silver have to tell you. And I would love to have you email it to me. I would love to see what you get from that. I can just feel how important this is, because these two frequencies are are really here to solidify some things, but also to take you into some kind of a broader view, and that will be exciting. And any of you who are on here and haven't signed up for Mia's Facebook page, oh my gosh, she has the most beautiful photographs of her flowers. She will just make your day by having those flowers available for you to breathe into. And you'll see me sharing them from time to time, because I just think they have such a beautiful way. It's this beautiful way of keeping people in that positive side of life and knowing that beauty is part of that. So thank you for that, Mia. All right.
Okay, so the luminary I picked for Mia is Dolphin Song.
Oh, good.
And does this go with the one you just got too?
Yes.
And I'm led to talk about this certain message from Dolphin Song. Mavericks of the universe, I am unfettered and free, yet respectful of the ever-changing experiments of the Creator. I unfurl fields of swirling light that unleash deep hues of intense genius, and so forth. And what I was getting is that balance once again, of the dolphins. They're playful, they're happy, they're joyous, they're fun, and down to business when they need to be. It's like mom has to feed the babies, mom has to take care of the babies, mom has to birth the babies. It's like all those other things. And so it's like balancing this unfettered, free, beautiful feelings and connections that you have with that beautiful. I love the pinks in the middle, the light blues. It's a lightness of being, I guess, is what I want to say, in balancing things. And it's very expressive. And that's the other thing I'm led to, is the more you are expressing yourself out there in the world, and the way you translate or see your spiritual walk and what you are learning, that balance just is, gold and silver, pink and blue, it's really all just saying balance, balance, balance. And yeah, that's it.
Well, and Mia, always be the maverick that you are.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
And now she says on there she just got a singing bowl, and it has a
cool.
bronze color to it. At one time, I felt that the gold eventually goes up to bronze, and the silver goes into I can't remember what the other one was, but they were, for me, were even higher vibrations. So you'll have so much fun with that. That is great. All right. Well, one of the things that I definitely want to invite you to is, and many of you here are on the Vortal, which is our membership group, and this is the place where I feel that I can bring what I have learned over so many years. And I do a presentation once a month, which we just did on Sunday. And we had such a good conversation after that. It was really wonderful. And I'll be doing the yeah, there's the picture that we have for the portal, which is a vortex and portal together. And I really think that we're going through a portal right now, and we're in the vortex of the energy as we're getting closer and closer going through the portal. This what's coming up is the one that is no working with your knowing self, journaling with your knowing self, and that's at Tuesday at, I think it's 4. Stacy, is it 4 or is it? Let me just look it up.
Yes, 4 p.m. 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Okay, 4 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so come and join me. We always just have such a good time, and we learn so much from each other. It's wonderful. But the Vortal, would you put up the link when you can, Stacy, for the Vortal? I would like Mia, I would love to have you read about that and feel whether that is something that is right for you. And the same for you, Sue. And we would just love to have you part of that. And always, 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 this is your choice. Is it right for you? Is this the right timing for you? But I do believe that together we are in the process now of really helping us be ready for this shift that we're in. And when we walk through that portal, let's do it together, not by ourselves. So, and we also have Dodie's crystal awareness class that will be coming up. And so you can go to that whether you're in the Vortal or not, and you can do the same for the Journal with Your Knowing Self. It's just that when you're in the Vortal, you really have the opportunity then to continue the conversation with other people that are in the Vortal. And we've just finding that there is such a wonderful energy that's developing among the people that are part of the Vortal. So we would love to have you be part of that. Anything else, Stacy, that we need to bring up that I'm not? Oh, tell them about your Qigong classes. Can you get on with us, or is that too many people? There we go. Okay.
Yeah, yay.
Okay.
Unmute.
Yeah.
Too many buttons I'm pushing. Yeah, so the other event that we do offer, this is going to be the last month that I am offering it free so everyone can try it. Spring Forest Qigong. So every morning at 7 o'clock. I know it's early, but it's a great way to start the day. And after you do it for a couple of weeks, you can look forward to it instead of going, oh my gosh, it's too early. But it's just a Eastern medicine, gentle, easy movements, kind of like Tai Chi, but it really helps keep you calm, keep you grounded, centered. You know, it's going to be different for everyone, but that spiritual connection, Qigong is centered on health, more about your health and wellness, as you know, yoga is more physical strength. So that's where it's focused, but it's moving meditations, and we all know meditations are good for us, but it's really simple. Everyone can do it. It's done wonders for me. I love it, and hope you can check it out.
So, and did you put up the link for that?
Well, it's on the calendar over there. I can go back.
While you're doing that, I just want to tell people, you know, I have a torn rotator cuff, and they were not able to do any surgery on it. So I've been doing a lot of different kinds of exercises. So sometimes when I'm doing the Qigong with Stacy, my arms can't stay up as long. And what she has told me, and it works, is I can bring my arms down and still visualize myself doing the moves. So it doesn't matter whether you're sitting or you're lying down or you're fully able to physically do what's there. You will still get a whole lot out of it because you'll feel the energy moving through you. And the longer you do it, the more you feel that, because now I'm especially noticing how I'm feeling the energy going up and down my spine, which is really kind of cool too. So I really encourage you to do that. And this is all stuff that has to go through your ability to know what is right for you. And it's just a wonderful opportunity for those who feel that they would like to give it a try. So anyway, thanks for all you for being here. We love you. And we're really happy that you came and joined us today. And thank you, Stacy, for being with us and working with us. And we will see you next week. Bye for now.